Hello everyone, I'm Paul McGuire Grimes. This is Paul's Trip to the Movies. The new movie Words on Bathroom Walls is about a teen that battles schizophrenia. It's a really powerful movie, and I got to sit down to talk with its stars, Charlie Plummer and Taylor Russell, to talk all about it. Check it out. Paul McGuire Grimes, KSTP, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Charlie, it is great talking to you today. You give a really powerful and fantastic performance in this movie, so kudos to you on that.
Thank you so much. Thanks for taking the time too, man.
Yeah, I'm wondering, did you get a chance to talk to any teens that directly battled with schizophrenia and mental health, and what did you learn from them?
So most of my research actually came from speaking with the psychiatrists that work with them, and that was mostly just in terms of wanting to be respectful, and I think also wanting to make sure that the right information was getting to everybody, and that really was so impactful for me, like getting to hear from these guys who have dedicated their lives to understanding, number one, and then ultimately trying to help people that have this as their reality. And I think in getting an idea of the everyday of the illness and how it kind of bleeds into every other element of their lives, and generally doing so, especially for young men that are recently diagnosed and experiencing all this for the first time. That was so helpful, because I think it's a daunting topic to talk about, and I really wanted to know that I had the most information I possibly could before going down there.
I wasn't fortunate enough to be able to talk to any teens with schizophrenia. I did my own research into it and learned as much as I could prior to. Luckily for me, I think the way that things work out, I there was a lot of crew members who had family members that had schizophrenia, and so it felt like every day I was learning something new from a random person who was on set watching us do the scenes and was like, wow, this is I just want to let you know this is something in my life. And that was so just moving, I think, for everybody and for me. And then seeing the research that Charlie did to play somebody who has schizophrenia was also just so beautiful to watch.
How do you think that the pressures that teens face today has changed since you were in high school, and do you think that it's gotten worse?
I think it's changed immensely, especially because technology is so different than what it was when I was in high school. I mean, when I was in high school, it was like the first flip phone with a camera came out. And at the end of my schooling, that's when like Twitter was starting. So it's changed a lot. I will say I do know a lot of teenagers now. I have a younger brother, and I'm so in awe of them. Like, really, I think our youth, my generation, the generation that is coming up, they're just so smart and so active, and they really care about the world. And I'm just so proud to know the ones that I do, and I'm so inspired, like endlessly inspired by them. If it's tougher for them, probably, but I think every new generation has its own set of rules that they have to go through, and but mostly from an outsider's perspective, or closely in close outsider's perspective, I feel inspired by them.
I mean, I think in a lot of ways they're probably all kind of similar, and things like technology and other things have kind of changed that. But I think this movie talks a lot about that, which is those secrets and those things that you're terrified to share with anybody else. Really, the power of being having the courage to be able to share those and confide in other people in those, and what that can do for you. And I think that absolutely can just go back to pretty much any territory in high school, and probably, unfortunately, till the end of time will be a part of high school in some aspect. But I think it's a really important lesson that everyone kind of experiences in their own time, and I think a lot of people just happen to go through it in high school.
I love that your character Adam is a wannabe chef. Can you talk about your like culinary prep, and do you still incorporate any of that into your own cooking?
I try to. We had a wonderful woman who made all of the meals for the movie, which I definitely didn't do, and also was very helpful in trying to teach me in the couple weeks before we actually started, just give me the basics in terms of just making it look like I wouldn't be making a fool of myself on the day mostly. So I have definitely taken them, but I mean, it is one of those things I actually, in retrospect, wish I had spent way more time in trying to learn about at the time, but there was a lot of other stuff going on, I guess.
Right. What advice would you have for the teens out there that are in Adam's shoes right now that feel that pressure in high school?
Oh my God. I feel like they could give me more advice than I could give them. Always, always. I just want to sit and hear what people want to tell me. But yeah, I really think they have it. I mean, to me, one of the biggest lessons has been like, listening. And that's probably the most important thing in my world, is to listen to people. And, I think that hopefully this movie will be heard and listened to and mirrored for a lot of young people, and older people who have family members or who are dealing with it. So
I mean, I think like anyone, who's in as specific of a position Adam is, I would just hope that they have people around them, whether that be family or friends or any type of loved one, that they feel that they can genuinely trust, and that make them feel less alone, and make them feel less scared, because I can never understand how terrifying that must be to wake up one day and have that be your reality. But that's all I would hope, is that you have some people, nearby that can help you in that journey.
Well, thank you very much. It was great talking to you today. I really appreciate it. I think that kids, teens, and their parents, I think, will get a lot out of this movie. So thank you for making it. Thank you for telling the story.
Thank you so much for watching it and connecting with it. And so appreciate it, Paul. Thank
you're welcome. Have a good day. Take care.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And I want to tell you before we go, I loved Waves. It was one of my favorite movies of last year. You were so incredible in it. So I just want to keep praising that movie, get more people to see that movie as well, because you were fantastic in that too. So thank you, and great work on both those movies. So thank you.
much.
Thank you so much for watching my interviews for Words on Bathroom Walls. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Paul's Movie Trip. I'd love to hear what you thought of this movie. Don't forget to click subscribe on my YouTube channel. There's some other movie reviews and some interviews. And then go to my website, paulstriptothemovies.com, for even more. Thank you so much for watching Paul's Trip to the Movies.